Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, taken from HFY subreddit. This story is called A Human Ate My Homework, written by Catfish21SM. Assignment: find a species of pre-sapient alien fauna, write a report about it and its role within the natural environment, then present a member of that species along with your report to the entire class. Quiet down, everyone, quiet down. Class is now in session. Does everyone have their homework ready for review today? A single hand-like appendage went up in the aid. What is it this time, Miss Kujovsky? Yes, ma'am, I don't have my original assignment or my presentation. And, why not? Well, you see, ma'am, a human ate my homework. Miss Kujovsky, what is a human? What has your fantastical little mind come up with now? Well, humans are the coolest things, ma'am. They are a large bipedal species. They are a primitive species that are yet to enter the Galactic Council, but they have an intelligence score of 9 and an adaptability score of 20. They live on a Category 9 Deathworld, which has a natural gravity force 4 times the standard gravity, and that's enough, Miss Kujovsky. Even if I were to believe that such an impossible species did happen to exist, it has been determined to be impossible for any predator species to ever reach space. They simply lack the coordination and cooperation necessary to do so. What that means, Miss Kujovsky, is that the human you are speaking of cannot be a predator. Thus your homework should be intact, or did you make a mistake and decide to write your report about a species of flora rather than fauna? I assume that you know the difference, correct, Miss Kujovsky? I do know the difference, ma'am, and if you'd let me finish, then I would have told you that humans are omnivores. They eat both flora and fauna species. Their diets seem to consist equally of both. Furthermore, they are pack hunters, so coordination and cooperation are not an issue for them. Not just that, but they've earned a spot as apex predators on their homeworld. Miss Kujovsky, what you are telling me only grows more and more fantastical as time goes on. I've never heard of these humans, and yet you have interacted with them enough to know this much about them. And you've been close enough to one that it was able to steal and eat your homework. Well, you know that my father is a diplomat with the Galactic Council. The species was discovered a few years ago, and the Council has been working to confirm that they are eligible for uplift. The Council has decided that they are eligible for uplift and has approved uplift protocol. The announcement should go live any day now, but anyways, since the Council approved it, the diplomats were allowed to introduce their families to the humans, and I got to meet one in person. Then, it ate my homework. Miss Kujovsky, do you really expect me to believe all of this? You understand that the ratings that you gave in the beginning of class of intelligence and adaptability are on a 10-point scale. If such a species did exist, its level of adaptability would be several orders of magnitude above the current most adaptable species in the galaxy. Such a species simply cannot exist. Almost every description that you've given about this species, from the moment you began describing them, is an impossibility. Please sit down and let's continue with class. I knew that you would say that. That's why I brought one with me. You what? I brought a human with me. My dad said that it would be okay since the Galactic Council has already approved the integration protocols and will go public with it any day now. And, where is this so-called human? Oh, that should be them walking down the hallway now. A loud clanking sound could be heard coming down the hall. It sounded like the footsteps of an extraordinarily heavy biped. Kujovsky got up and walked to the entrance of the class, greeting the human as it walked in. Several students jumped out of their seats and ran to the back of the class as the forward-facing eyes of the predator surveyed the classroom. One of the students instinctively let out a foul-smelling liquid as a self-defense measure. The predator was much smaller than they had initially predicted. Several students were 4 times its height and girth. Most of the students, having evolved on a world with no known natural predators, were perfectly fine with the presence of the human, though. In fact, they were more surprised at the reactions of the other students. So, human, how should I address you? Oh, hi. My name is Hamura Kemi. I am what the Galactic Council designated as a female of my species. The translator kicked in, translating what she said as she spoke. Thank you, Miss Hamura. So a question for you. Was your stomping just now a predatory intimidation tactic? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare anyone, but that was my magnetic boots. Magnetic boots? Why are you wearing items that are normally used in a zero-gravity environment? Well, you see, the gravity here is a lot less than Earth, and it's hard to walk in them. I'm not used to it yet, so they gave me these magnetic boots to help me walk properly. No, if it's not rude, may I ask for you to demonstrate? Sure. She reached down and pushed a button, turning off the electromagnetics in her boots, then carefully stood up in a wobbling motion, trying to keep her balance. She then jumped up at breakneck speed, almost slamming into the ceiling. As if she were a cat, she turned around mid-air and landed on all fours on the ceiling, seeming to almost come to rest there. Then quickly she jumped back down to the floor. She moved almost as if there was no gravity at all in the room, causing one student to pass out. After reaching the floor, she began to stand up again, but quickly fell to the ground, catching herself easily with her hands and pressing the buttons on her boots once more. She stood back up as if nothing had happened. Is that enough? Looking surprised at the act that she previously thought to be impossible, the professor took a moment to catch her breath before responding. Yes, Miss Samora, that is enough. Will you be joining us in class today? Well, that was the initial plan, but that might be a bad idea, she said, surveying the students who were fighting for the corner farthest away from her, one of them easily twice her size. Yes, you are quite right. It might be best if you returned for now. Before you go, however, I have one last question for you. What is that? Why did you eat Miss Kajovsky's homework? Oh, that. Well, when we first met, she didn't believe that I ate meat, and she just held out this weird creature and told me to eat it. My father thought that it might be considered rude to turn her down, so we had it tested and confirmed that it was safe for human consumption. Then we had our chefs prepare it, and I ate it for her. Ah, Miss Kajowski, what was this about a human eating your homework again? Well, I didn't lie. End of story. I would like to thank the legendary Inglet for being our Tier 6 patron. Thank you very much. I'd quickly like to thank the T5 channel members and patrons. Caspar Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Lord Azrakal, Dragzoon WRE, Holly Sister, Ambrose Cattell, and Quantum Wednesday. Thank you very much.